The patient in room 307. I never believed the stories people told about hospitals after midnight. I'd heard them all during my first week working as a night shift nurse. Patients who spoke to invisible visitors, security cameras that glitched at exactly 3 a.m., rooms that somehow called for assistance even though nobody was inside. I laughed every single time. Hospitals are strange places. Machines malfunction. People are exhausted. When you've been awake for 12 hours, your brain starts playing tricks on you. At least, that's what I believed. This happened during my 3rd month at St. Matthew's Hospital. I was 26 years old and had finally gotten comfortable working nights. The hospital always felt different after midnight. During the day, it was full of conversations, phones ringing, visitors walking the halls, and doctors rushing from room to room. But once visiting hours ended, everything changed. The lights dimmed. The hallways became almost silent. Even the air felt colder. That Tuesday night started like every other shift. Around 1 in the morning, most of my patients were asleep. I sat at the nurse's station finishing paperwork while another nurse, Emily, poured herself a cup of coffee. She looked at me and smiled. "You've got room 307 tonight." I checked my patient list. "There isn't anyone in 307. "I know." She gave me a strange look. "Just don't answer if the call light comes on." I laughed. "What?" "You'll see." She walked away before I could ask what she meant. I figured it was another prank for the new nurse. About 20 minutes later, ding, the call light lit up. "Room 307. I rolled my eyes. "Very funny." Emily wasn't even looking at me. None of the other nurses reacted. I grabbed my clipboard and walked down the hallway. The corridor was completely empty. The closer I got to room 307, the quieter everything became. Even the humming from the air conditioning seemed to disappear. I reached the door. The call light above it was glowing red. I opened it. The room was empty. No patient. No equipment running. The bed had already been stripped clean. Only moonlight entered through the window. I searched every corner anyway. Nothing. As I stepped back into the hallway, the call light turned off. I frowned. Probably faulty wiring. That was my explanation. Back at the nurse's station, I asked Emily who had been messing with the call system. She looked genuinely confused. "I told you not to answer it." "Why?" She hesitated. "Because nobody likes going in there." I laughed again. "You people seriously believe ghost stories?" Nobody answered. They just looked at each other. That bothered me more than I wanted to admit. Around 2:15, the bell rang again. Room 307. This time, nobody even looked up. I waited. Maybe someone from maintenance would come. Nobody moved. Finally, I sighed. "I'll reset it." I walked back. The hallway somehow felt darker than before. When I opened the door, the room was still empty, but something had changed. The bedside chair was no longer against the wall. It sat beside the bed. I stopped. I knew exactly where it had been earlier. I checked every corner. Maybe housekeeping had moved it. I convinced myself that was the answer. Then I heard it. A whisper. Very soft. Just one word. "Nurse." I spun around. Nobody. The room was empty. I hurried out. When I closed the door, the whisper stopped instantly. Back at the station, my hands were shaking. Emily noticed. "You heard it." It wasn't a question. I nodded. She quietly told me something she'd never told management. For months, every nurse assigned to that wing had reported hearing someone whisper, "Nurse," inside room 307. Maintenance inspected everything. Nothing was ever found. The room had even been renovated. The reports continued. I wanted to go home. Instead, the shift continued. At 2:58, every monitor at the nurse's station flickered. The lights dimmed for less than a second. Then, ding, room 307. Again. This time the call light wouldn't turn off, even after the system was reset. The charge nurse finally asked me and a security guard to check the room together. Walking there with someone else made me feel ridiculous, until we reached the door. The security guard looked at the light. His face changed. "You seeing this?" I nodded. The handle was slowly turning by itself. Neither of us moved. The door creaked open. The room was dark, much darker than before. The window should have been letting in moonlight. Instead, it looked almost black. The security guard stepped inside first. I followed. The room was empty. Then, the heart monitor beside the bed suddenly powered on. No cables, no patient, just one long babe. The sound echoed through the room. The screen displayed a single heartbeat, then another, then another. Someone or something was being